Hey, what's up everybody? Tricks Ridiculous back with another video, and we got our first gameplay taste of Spider-Man. Going to be going over my thoughts on it, how he plays, and kind of what he brings to the table in this video. Before we do, be sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Those things are an easy way to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. But other than that, let's get right into it. So the footage in the background is courtesy of IGN, and the actual gameplay is provided to them by Crystal Dynamics. So unfortunately not the greatest gameplay in the world, but it is what it is, still giving us a lot of details about Spider-Man, about his kit, and how he will really play and what he'll bring to the table. Now, it looks like he's going to be a very heavy crowd control support character, right? So they're actually implementing a new status element called webbing. Now, we don't know if this is a positive or negative effect, or maybe neither. We're not sure on that yet. We'll have to get the details to that. But basically, when he's webbing his enemies, it'll actually fill up a status bar, and it'll make them, all we know so far is that it'll make them easier to perform takedowns on, all right? So as well as incapacitating them. So you'll see in the background footage, there'll be times where enemies get webbed up, they get stuck, right? They can't move, they're essentially stunned, and then they can be taken down much easier, all right? So really, really cool. And in addition to that, all of his heroic abilities actually are web-based. So his assault heroic is a web bomb that just kind of does an AoE of webbing. The support heroic is a drone attack, basically, that the drones will follow him around and kind of web up all enemies in the area. And then the ultimate is just a big web bomb. So it just kind of webs in a big, massive AoE that presumably does a good amount of damage and presumed to do some webbing as well. Now, regardless of all this webbing, Crystal Dynamics actually came out specifically and said that he's still not a ranged character, or at least not designed that way. He's still meant to be an agile melee-based character. So going to be interesting to see how he gets built. You'll notice in some of the gameplay clips, you can actually see that he has, similar to Iron Man and Widow, and some of the archers, he actually has different ranged options to pick from. So he actually has multiple ranged web shooters that he can swap between using the D-pad, of course. So we'll have to see all of the specific details, how all this stuff plays, to see how to really build him appropriately. But just right off the bat, with his ability to web things up, kind of stick things, incapacitate enemies, and then ultimately make enemies easy to stun. I think, he's definitely going to be a major crowd control character. We'll have to see how his single target DPS is, but it's TBD on that. Now, the other big thing is that he can just swing from the glass ceiling, which is fantastic. People were a little worried that he might just swing from light, lamp posts and other surfaces that, normally you can kind of rappel onto with Black Widow or Kamala. He can do that, but he can also just rope from anywhere, so essentially making him another flying character. This is absolutely fantastic. This is the way it should have been. People, we're seeing a little panning of him that it'll kind of break the immersion, that you can't really go too high because there's a glass ceiling, or you can't really climb up buildings as high as you want with his web, or with his wall crawling, I should say. And honestly, I feel like some of these critiques are a little, outside of the players who actually play the game. I don't think anyone expected Spider-Man to break the ceiling on his web crawling, or to be able to get on top of some of the tallest buildings in this game. And truthfully, obviously people doing that are just really looking to compare this to Insomniac's Spider-Man, which is, of course, a game custom built specifically for Spider-Man, right? Marvel's Avengers is not an exploratory Spider-Man game. There's nothing on top of these buildings, for him to get, or no reason to really go up high. It's still a combat RPG at heart, and Spider-Man, in my opinion, is a welcome addition. The other reason that, a lot of critics are kind of panning this is because there is no story coming with Spider-Man. It's just as what's called a hero event. So basically it's going to be a cutscene introducing him, and then there he is. He's in the game, and, some audio logs and things will be unlocked when you complete just standard kind of objective-based things with him. I personally, and I know a lot of other players, are totally okay with this. If this means we're getting characters faster, we want to see more of this. Paul Tassi has already mentioned that in his conversations with Crystal Dynamics, they're taking the feedback to heart to, you know, as to if this type of event is well received and if this is something that, you know, people will want to see in the future. Now, obviously, does that mean we'll get heroes faster? It's hard to say, right? But logically, if you don't have to put any campaign content behind a hero, you would think that you would get it faster, but it remains to be seen. But I think it's fine. I think it's a good move. And I think that, you know, any type of campaign content should be minimal. They should really, because this is a live service game, really focus on adding characters in kind of small character inserts, and then also focusing on repeatable end game content, things that will last long term in the game, right? Things that people will want to come back for. The raid is a perfect example. More content like that and less content that's just one-off campaign content. So to me, this is an absolute win. I can see how, you know, someone completely as an outsider looking into this game would think no story, that kind of sucks. But honestly, that's fine. We've got another we've got 2 great Spider-Man games already and a third one on the way. So I don't know what other story Crystal Dynamics was really going to do that was going to top any of that. So overall, I'm extremely excited for Spider-Man. Definitely going to be playing him. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, that's really all I've got in this video until we see some more gameplay. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next one.